You already know. I'm not even going to make you wait for it. You already know who this is. The second you read that title, a face came up. A name brushed against your mind. Maybe you tried to talk yourself out of it. Maybe you went no, surely not them. But somebody appeared in your awareness before you finished reading the words. And I want you to hold on to whoever that was, because I think your spirit answered before your brain could second guess it. That first flash, that wasn't random. We're going to come back to it. Hi, sweet soul. It's Elena, and welcome back to Elena Tarot. Settle in close for this one. Pull the blanket up. Hold your cup with both hands, because this reading has a warmth to it that I want you to actually feel, not just hear. And let me say the most important thing first, the thing the title promised. This is not about your toxic ex. I felt the need to say that out loud before we even start, because I know some of you flinched a little. I know some of you have been burned in a way that makes you brace whenever a love reading comes on, because the last time you let yourself hope, it was about someone who hurt you, and you don't want to go back there. So hear me clearly. This is not that person. This is not the one who made you small. This is not the chaos you finally climbed out of. The energy I'm holding tonight is clean. It's safe. It's the opposite of what drained you. So you can unclench. You're allowed to be excited about this one. And there's something else threaded all the way through this reading that I have to tell you about, because it's the part that made my eyes sting a little when it came through. Someone who has crossed over someone in the spirit world. Someone in heaven. Someone who loved you while they were here is involved in this. They're not just watching, they're advocating. They're putting their hand on this connection from the other side and saying yes. This one. This is the one I want for them. So we're not just doing a love reading tonight. We're doing a love reading with a guardian standing right behind it. Let me show you. Let me shuffle. I want to start with that face, the one that came up when you read the title. Let's see who your spirit already knows. The first card, the one you already knew, okay. First card down, and oh, this is a beautiful way to open. The card is the Six of Wands, and the first thing I felt was a kind of quiet, glowing vindication. Like the universe smiling and going, see? You were right. The Six of Wands is the card of being recognized, of something you suspected finally being confirmed and celebrated out loud. And what it's telling me, right out of the gate, is that the face that came up for you when you read the title, that instinct, was correct. You weren't projecting. You weren't being hopeful for the sake of it. The quiet knowing you've been carrying about a specific person was your intuition working perfectly. And the cards are here to hand you the confirmation you've been craving. Here's the thing about this connection that the Six of Wands wants you to understand. You've probably kept this one a little bit close to your chest. You haven't shouted it from the rooftops. Maybe you haven't even fully admitted to yourself how much you feel it, because part of you was scared to jinx it, or scared to be wrong, or scared to want something good after wanting the wrong thing for so long. But your spirit knew. Underneath all the second guessing, there's been this steady, quiet certainty about this person that you couldn't quite shake no matter how many times you told yourself not to get your hopes up. And I want you to notice something about how different this feels from the toxic stuff. With the people who hurt you, the knowing was anxious. It was a knot in your stomach. It was a knowing that something was wrong. This knowing is the opposite. It's calm. It's warm. It sits quietly in your chest without screaming. That's how you can tell the difference between intuition and anxiety. Sweet soul intuition is steady, anxiety is loud. And what you've felt about this person has been steady. That steadiness is the tell. That's your spirit recognizing something safe. So hold that face in your mind. You already know who this is. The cards just confirmed your knowing was real. And I want to gently address the part of you that's still going, but what if I'm just hoping? What if I want it so badly that I'm seeing something that isn't there? Because I know that voice is loud, especially for those of you who got hurt before. So let me give you a way to tell the difference, because it's real and it's simple. Hope that comes from desperation feels grasping. It's frantic. It makes you want to check your phone, refresh the page, do something, fix something. chase something. But the knowing you have about this person doesn't feel grasping, does it? It feels more like recognition, like remembering something rather than wishing for it. Like you're not reaching for this person so much as you're quietly, calmly certain about them in a way that doesn't require you to do anything frantic. That's the difference. Desperate hope clause. Real recognition rests. And the Six of Wands is a resting card. It's the calm after the victory, not the scramble before it. So if your knowing has felt more like a steady hum than a frantic grasp, that's your confirmation that it's intuition, not wishful thinking. You're not making this up. You're remembering something your soul already decided was true. Comment I already knew if a specific person came up the second you read the title, and if some quiet part of you has been certain about them for a while, even when you didn't say it out loud. Let's see how many of us felt it. Let's pull the next card. The second card, why this one is different, okay? The next card is the Four of Wands. And this is where I want to camp out for a minute. Because this card is the whole reason the title says, not your toxic ex. This card is the difference itself. The Four of Wands is the card of home, of stability, of the kind of love that feels less like a roller coaster and more like walking through your own front door and exhaling. And the reason this matters so much is that I think your nervous system has, for a long time, confused intensity with love. A lot of us do, especially after toxic connections. We get so used to the highs and lows, the drama, the anxiety, the never knowing where we stand, that calm love starts to feel boring. Suspicious, even. Like if it's not making my stomach hurt, is it even real? I need you to hear this, because it might be the most important thing I say tonight. The reason this new connection might feel unfamiliar is not that it's wrong, it's that it's healthy. And healthy, to a heart that's only known chaos, can feel strange at first. The absence of anxiety can feel like the absence of feeling, when really, it's just the absence of harm. The Four of Wands is showing me that this person brings a groundedness you are not used to. They're steady. They're consistent. They don't run hot and cold. They don't make you audition for their affection. They don't keep you guessing as some kind of power move. And here's the part that might take some adjusting to: that's not a lack of passion. That's safety. And safety is the soil that real love actually grows in. The toxic ex gave you intensity with no foundation, which is why it always collapsed. This person offers foundation, and the passion that grows in stable ground is the kind that lasts. So if you've caught yourself wondering whether this is exciting enough compared to the chaos you came from, please gently examine that, because that question is the toxic ex still talking. That's the old wiring trying to convince you that peace is boring. Peace is not boring. Peace is what you prayed for in the middle of the chaos. Don't let the old pattern talk you out of the very thing you begged the universe to send you. And I want to give you a little reframe that might help, because this adjustment is so real and almost nobody warns you about it. When you leave chaos behind, there's a withdrawal period. I mean that almost literally. Toxic relationships run on a chemical cycle. The highs of the good moments hit so hard precisely because the lows were so low. And your body gets hooked on that contrast, that spike. So when you step into a love that's just, consistently good, with no terrible lows, to make the highs feel dramatic, your nervous system can actually go through a kind of withdrawal. It misses the spike. It mistakes calm for emptiness because it's been trained to need the roller coaster to feel alive. And this is the moment so many people sabotage the good thing. Sweet soul, they feel the withdrawal. They label it no spark, and they run back toward chaos. Because at least chaos felt like something. I don't want that to be you. So if this connection feels a little quiet at first, a little too even, a little unfamiliar in its steadiness, I want you to recognize that feeling for exactly what it is. It's not the absence of love. It's your body detoxing from a love that was poison. Give it time. The steadiness that feels strange at first becomes eventually the most beautiful thing you've ever felt. It just has to outlast the withdrawal. Let's pull the next card. The third card, the one in heaven, okay. This is the card I've been waiting for, and I want you to take a slow breath before I turn it, because this is the tender one. This is the heaven one. The card is the Queen of Cups. And the moment it landed, I felt this overwhelming sense of maternal love, of nurturing, of someone who loved you deeply, softly, completely, and who is loving you still, from the other side. Now, the Queen of Cups can show up as many things. But in this context, with this energy, paired with the spirit world thread that's been running through the whole reading I'm being shown, that the loved one in heaven who is supporting this connection carries a deeply feminine, deeply nurturing energy. For a lot of you, this is a mother, a grandmother, an aunt, a sister, a maternal figure who mothered you whether or not she was technically your mother. Someone who, when she was alive, wanted nothing in this world more than to see you safe and cherished and loved well. And here's what she's doing now, sweet soul. She's been watching. She watched the toxic chapters, and oh, she did not like what she saw. If you ever felt, in the middle of a bad relationship, this strange sense of being disapproved of by something you couldn't see, this odd pressure like someone was shaking their head at you from somewhere, that may very well have been her. Not judging you, never judging you, but aching for you, wanting so badly for you to see your own worth the way she always saw it. And now she's celebrating. Because this new person, this clean and steady connection, this is what she always wanted for you. This is the love she hoped you'd find. And she is putting her energy behind it from the other side. The Queen of Cups in this position is a blessing, a literal spiritual cosign. It's a departed loved one saying, yes, finally, this one. This is the person I would have wanted to meet. This is the love I always knew you deserved. I want you to know something about how the spirit world works in connections like this, because it's beautiful. When a loved one on the other side supports a relationship, they don't just cheer, they arrange, they nudge, they line up the coincidences, the random meetings, the perfect timing, the chance encounters that don't feel like chance. So if there's been something almost uncanny about how you and this person came into each other's lives, timing that was too perfect. A meeting that felt orchestrated. A series of little coincidences that stacked up in a way that made you go, huh? That's strange. I want you to consider that it wasn't strange at all. It was her. It was heaven's hand. You weren't lucky. You were guided. And there's one more thing she wants me to pass along. And this is the part that got me. So bear with me if I get a little tender here. She wants you to know that she's sorry she couldn't protect you from the last one. The toxic chapter she watched it. And from where she stands, with the clarity the other side gives, she could see exactly what was happening to you long before you could. And it broke her heart that she couldn't reach down and pull you out of it. That the rules of the veil meant she had to watch you learn the hard way. So this new love, this blessing she's arranging, it's partly her making it up to you. It's her saying, I couldn't stop the pain, but I can help steer you toward the healing. I couldn't shield you from the one who hurt you, but I can help deliver the one who won't. There's a kind of redemption in it for her, sweet soul. Helping you find this safe love is how she gets to finally do the protecting she ached to do the whole time she was watching you struggle. So when you receive this love, know that you're not just receiving it for yourself. You're letting her give you the gift she's been waiting on the other side to give. Let her. Let her love you through this. It's what she's been longing to do. Comment she's with ME if you feel that maternal, heaven side presence, if a specific loved one who's passed just came to mind as strongly as the romantic person did. Because I think for a lot of you, two faces showed up tonight. The one you'll love, and the one who's making sure you get to. Let's pull the next card. The fourth card, how they see you okay. The next card is the King of Pentacles. And this is about how this new person actually sees you, and it's such a relief after everything you've been through, so let me give it to you. The King of Pentacles is the card of someone solid. Someone who provides, who shows up, who is reliable down to the bone. And what it's telling me about how this person views you, is the thing your heart has been starving for. They see you as someone to take care of. And I don't mean take care of in a controlling way, not in the way the toxic one took care of you as a means of keeping you dependent. I mean it in the genuine, generous, want to make your life easier way. They look at you, and their instinct is to provide emotionally, practically, in whatever way they can, to be a soft place for you to land, to lighten your load instead of adding to it. Do you understand how huge that is after what you came from? You spent so long with someone whose presence in your life was a weight, someone who took more than they gave, someone you had to manage, walk on eggshells around, brace yourself for. And now here's this person whose entire orientation toward you is what can I give? How can I help? How do I make her feel safe? That's not a small upgrade. That's a different category of human being. And here's what the King of Pentacles wants me to say to the part of you that's scared to receive it. Because I know that part is there. When you've been with a taker for a long time, being on the receiving end of genuine generosity feels almost uncomfortable. You don't know what to do with it. You keep waiting for the catch. You keep waiting for the bill to come, for the other shoe to drop, for the moment they reveal that the kindness had strings attached all along. So you hold back. You don't let yourself fully receive. You keep one hand up, protecting yourself. I want you to gently start lowering that hand. Not all at once, I know you can't, and you shouldn't have to, but a little at a time. Because this person is not going to hand you a bill. The generosity is not a trap. It's just who they are. And you, sweet soul, are so deeply allowed to be taken care of. You're allowed to let someone be good to you without earning it, without bracing for it, without waiting for it to turn. That's what safe love feels like. It feels, at first, almost too good, and then slowly, it just feels like home. And here's something I want to name, because it's a sneaky little trap a lot of healing hearts fall into. When you've been with a taker, you often overcorrect. By becoming a relentless giver, you learned that love means earning your keep, proving your usefulness, making yourself indispensable so that you can't be discarded. So you might find yourself with this good new person trying to give and give and give, trying to be low maintenance, trying to never ask for anything, trying to make sure you're never a burden. And it comes from a tender place, but I want you to catch it. Because this person doesn't want a relationship where you perform usefulness to deserve their care. They want to actually take care of you. And you constantly deflecting that, always insisting you're fine, always being the giver and never letting yourself receive it, actually keeps them at arm's length. It doesn't let them love you the way they want to. So part of healing in this connection is going to be learning to let someone do things for you, to accept the kindness without immediately trying to repay it, to say thank you instead of, oh, you didn't have to be, sometimes, the one who is cared for instead of always the one doing the caring. That's not weakness, sweet soul. That's intimacy, and you're allowed to have it. Let's pull the next card. The fifth card, what's healing in you, okay? The next card is the star, and this one isn't about them at all. This one is about you and what's mending in you that made this connection possible in the first place. The star is the card of healing after hardship, of hope returning after a long dark stretch, of faith being slowly, gently restored. And the reason it showed up here, right in the middle of this reading, is that the cards want you to understand something. This good, clean, heaven-supported love didn't just fall into your lap by accident. It became available to you because of work you did, because of healing you went through, because somewhere along the way, you started to believe even just a little that you deserved better than what you'd had. And the moment you started believing that, you became a match for something better. I want to honor that because I don't think you give yourself enough credit for it. Leaving the toxic situation or surviving it or recovering from it was not easy. Rebuilding your sense of self after someone spent so long chipping away at it was not easy. Learning to trust your own judgment again after it had been twisted and doubted and gaslit was not easy. And you did it. Maybe not perfectly, maybe not all at once, maybe you're still in the middle of doing it. But you did enough of it to crack open the door to this new energy. The star is the cards bowing to your healing. It's saying, look what you made possible by refusing to stay broken. And here's the gorgeous thing about the star, the thing that ties it back to the whole reading. The star is also a card of divine timing and spiritual support. It's hope that comes with help. So the healing you did down here and the advocacy your loved one is doing up there, they met in the middle. You raised your worth, she lined up the blessing, and the two of those things together created the opening for this person to walk into your life at exactly the right moment. You weren't just passively waiting to be rescued. You were an active participant in your own miracle. You healed your way toward this. That's not luck. That's you and heaven working together. And I want to say something about the timing piece, because the star is so specific about it. Have you ever noticed how you couldn't have met this person or couldn't have been ready for them even a little earlier than you did if they'd shown up while you were still tangled in the chaos? Still bleeding from the old wound, still believing you deserved scraps, you might have missed them entirely. You might have been too distracted, too unavailable, too convinced you were still in love with someone who was hurting you. Or worse, you might have dragged your unhealed self into this good connection and unconsciously sabotaged it. Because a wounded heart sometimes burns down the very thing it wants most. The star is showing me that the timing of all this was not an accident and it was not a delay. It was precision. This person arrived, or is arriving, at the exact moment you became able to receive them properly. Not a day too early, when you'd have squandered them. Not a day too late. Right on time, heaven's time, which is always slower than we want and always wiser than we understand. So, if you've ever been frustrated about how long it took to get here, about all the lonely stretches in between, I want you to see them differently now. That wasn't wasted time. That was preparation time. You were being made ready. And now you are. Comment, I healed my way here, if you can feel how much work you did to become ready for something this good. Because you deserve to be proud of that. Most people never do the work. You did. Let's pull the next card. The sixth card, the fear to leave behind, okay? The next card is the Eight of Swords. And I love that this came up. Because it names the one thing that could get in the way, and it's not them. And it's not heaven. It's an old fear living in you. And naming it is how you set it down. The Eight of Swords is the card of feeling trapped. But here's the secret of this card that I always point out. The figure in it is only lightly bound, and the way out is wide open. The trap is in the mind. And the specific trap I'm seeing for you is this: a fear that you can't tell the difference anymore. A fear that because you got it so wrong before, because you trusted someone who hurt you, your picker, is broken. That you can't trust yourself to know a good person from a bad one. That maybe this new connection seems safe, but you'll find out too late that you were fooled again. I want to gently cut that cord, because it's keeping you from fully stepping into something beautiful. Sweet soul, getting hurt once does not mean your judgment is broken. It means you were in a situation with a person who was skilled at hiding what they were, and you survived it and you learned from it. The proof that your judgment isn't broken is sitting in this very reading. You already know who this safe person is. Your intuition already flagged them as different. The same instinct you're afraid to trust is the instinct that correctly identified this good connection. It's working. It's been working the whole time. And here's the thing about the Eight of Swords: the bindings loosen the moment you stop struggling against them and simply choose to see clearly. The fear that you'll get fooled again is not a premonition. It's a scar. It's the old wound trying to protect you by keeping you from ever being vulnerable again. But a heart that never opens never gets loved. And you did not survive everything you survived just to wall yourself off from the good thing on the other side of it. The loved one in heaven did not arrange all of this for you to be too scared to receive it. So when that fear whispers, "What if I'm wrong again?" you whisper back, I'm not the same person who got hurt. I see more clearly now. And the proof is that I can tell this one is safe. And I want to give you a gentle, practical way to handle this fear when it flares up, because it will flare up. And that's okay. And it doesn't mean anything's wrong. Here's the key distinction. There's a difference between protecting yourself and sabotaging yourself. And the old fear loves to disguise one as the other. Protecting yourself looks like taking things at a reasonable pace, keeping your eyes open, letting trust be earned gradually, paying attention to whether someone's actions match their words over time. That's healthy. That's wisdom. Keep doing that. But sabotaging yourself looks different. It looks like pushing a good person away before they can get close, picking fights to test whether they'll leave, reading danger into harmless things, or convincing yourself it's too good to be true so you can leave before you can be left. That's the wound talking, not wisdom. So the next time the fear rises, ask yourself one honest question. Is this protecting me, or is this sabotaging me? Is this caution based on something they actually did, or is it just my history bracing for a blow that hasn't come and probably isn't coming? If it's the former, honor it. If it's the latter, and a lot of the time, sweet soul, it'll be the latter. You can thank the fear for trying to keep you safe, and then gently set it down and let the good thing keep unfolding. You're allowed to be careful. You're just not required to be afraid. Those are two different things. And learning to tell them apart is one of the last gifts your healing is going to give you. Let's pull our final card. The final card where this is going okay. Last card. And after everything, the knowing, the difference, the heaven-side blessing, the way they see you, your healing, the fear you're setting down, let's see where the cards say this is actually headed. The card is the Ten of Cups. Sweet soul. The Ten of Cups. If you know anything about tarot, you know there is no warmer card in the entire deck for a love reading. This is the card of emotional fulfillment, of family, of the rainbow after the storm, of a love that doesn't just feel good in the moment, but actually builds into a life. It's the happy ending that's also a happy beginning. And the fact that this is where the reading lands, after all that heaven-supported energy, after all that healing, tells me that this connection isn't a fleeting bright spot. It's a destination. The Ten of Cups is the picture of everything the toxic ex could never give you. It's the stability of the Four of Wands, grown all the way up into a full, warm, lasting life. It's the safety of the King of Pentacles, extended across years instead of moments. It's the blessing of the Queen of Cups in heaven, fulfilled. Everything in this reading has been quietly pointing here. To this card, to this outcome, a love that heals the parts of you the last one broke, and then keeps going, and builds something beautiful on top of the healing. And I think the loved one in heaven knew this was the destination all along. I think that's why she's been advocating so hard. She could see the Ten of Cups waiting for you. She could see the whole happy ending from where she's standing, the way the people on the other side can see things we can't. And she has been pulling every string she's allowed to pull to make sure you don't miss it. To make sure you don't let an old fear or an old pattern or a confusion between chaos and love talk you out of walking all the way into the warmth that's waiting for you. And there's a detail in the Ten of Cups I never want people to overlook, because it's the most healing part of all. In the imagery of this card, it's not just two people, there's a whole picture of belonging, a sense of being held by something larger than just a romance. And what that says to me about where this is going is that this love isn't going to be an isolated little bubble, just the two of you against the world the way toxic love often is. Because toxic love isolates, it cuts you off, it makes you smaller and lonelier. This love does the opposite. This love expands your world. It brings warmth not just between the two of you, but around you, a sense of family, of community, of finally belonging somewhere safe. The Ten of Cups is the antidote to every lonely night you spent in the last chapter, feeling unseen and unchosen. It's not just you found a partner, it's you found a home. In the fullest sense of that word, the kind of belonging that the scared, lonely version of you The one who cried herself to sleep, wondering if she'd ever be loved right, genuinely did not believe was coming. It's coming. The cards are sure of it. And so is she. So here's the truth at the very heart of tonight, and I want you to hold it close. You already know who this is. It's not the one who hurt you. It's the clean, steady, safe one your spirit recognized the second you read the title. Heaven is behind it. Your healing made it possible. And where it's going is the kind of love you used to think only happened to other people. A word about trusting yourself again before I bring this all home. I want to take a quiet moment and speak to the deepest part of you, the part that's still a little afraid, even after all this good news. Because I think for many of you, the hardest thing about a reading like this isn't believing that good love exists. It's believing that you can trust yourself to recognize it and hold on to it without messing it up or getting fooled again. So let me say this as clearly and as lovingly as I can. The version of you that got hurt before was not stupid. She was not naive. She was not bad at love. She was a person with a big, open, generous heart who met someone who knew how to exploit exactly that. That's not a flaw in your heart, that's a crime committed against it. And there's a world of difference between the two. You don't need to make your heart smaller or harder to keep it safe. You just needed to learn what you've now learned, what the warning signs feel like, what your gut sounds like when something's wrong, how to tell the steady knowing from the anxious one. And you have learned that. The proof is everywhere in this reading. You already identified the safe person. Your intuition already sorted them into the different category. The internal compass you're scared is broken has actually been recalibrated by everything you survived. It's sharper now, not duller. Here's the beautiful paradox of it. The very pain that made you scared to trust yourself is the same pain that taught you how to trust yourself better. You came out of that fire with a discernment you didn't have before. You can feel things now that you used to miss. The eggshell walking, the bracing, the constant scanning for danger, as exhausting as it was. It trained you into someone who can read a person's energy with real accuracy. So the wound didn't break your judgment, it upgraded it. And the heaven side loved one who's been advocating for you, she can see that upgrade. She trusts your judgment now too. That's part of why she's comfortable steering this person toward you, because she knows you've become someone who can finally tell the difference between a love that takes and a love that gives. You're ready. Not because you're unscarred, but because your scars taught you exactly what to look for. Trust the version of you that those scars created. She knows things the old you didn't. She's the one who's going to get to be loved well. Bringing it all together, so let me gather this whole beautiful thing into one piece for you, sweet soul, because I want you to carry the full shape of it with you. We opened with the Six of Wands confirmation that the face that came up when you read the title was real, that your quiet knowing about a specific person was your intuition working perfectly, calm and steady the way real intuition is. The Four of Wands named the difference. This is home energy, stable and safe. And the only reason it might feel unfamiliar is that you're used to confusing chaos with love, but peace isn't boring. Peace is what you prayed for. The Queen of Cups brought in the tender heart of the reading, a maternal, nurturing loved one in heaven who watched the toxic chapters with an aching heart and is now celebrating, arranging, co-signing this new love from the other side. The King of Pentacles showed us how this person sees you as someone to genuinely take care of, to provide for, to make life easier for. The exact opposite of the taker you came from, and invited you to slowly lower your guard and let yourself receive. The star honored you, the healing you did, the worth you reclaimed that made you a match for something this good, proof that you healed your way here, working in tandem with heaven. The Eight of Swords named the one thing that could get in the way. The fear that your judgment is broken, that you'll be fooled again, a fear we cut loose. Because the very intuition you're scared to trust is the one that correctly spotted this safe person. And the Ten of Cups closed it all in the warmest possible light. This isn't a fleeting good moment. It's a destination. A full, lasting, fulfilling love that builds into an actual life. So here's what I want you to walk away holding tonight, my sweet soul. You have spent enough of your life braced, enough of it walking on eggshells, managing someone else's moods, shrinking, surviving, confusing the knot in your stomach for butterflies. That chapter is closed. The person this reading is about is not that. They are safe and steady and good to you, and they have a blessing on them from someone who loved you enough to keep loving you from the other side of heaven. You don't have to brace anymore. You're allowed to exhale. You're allowed to want this. You're allowed to walk toward it without flinching. And because I always want you holding your own power, let me be clear that heaven supports this doesn't mean you sit back and let it happen to you. It means you've got the wind at your back as you walk toward it yourself. You still get to choose. You still get to move at your own pace, set your own boundaries, take your time letting your guard down. The blessing doesn't remove your agency, it supports it. So take it slow if you need to. Let safety prove itself to you gradually. There's no rush, and a connection this real won't punish you for being careful. Heaven's not going anywhere, and neither is a love that's actually meant for you. And one last thing, because I want to send you off with it ringing in your ears. The loved one in heaven who's been with us this whole reading, she wants me to tell you that she's proud of you. Not she will be proud when you finally accept this love. Proud right now. Proud of every hard thing you did to get here. Proud of the night you finally said enough. Proud of the mornings you got up and kept going when you didn't want to. Proud of the slow, unglamorous, invisible work of putting yourself back together, piece by piece, when no one was watching and no one was clapping. She saw all of it. The stuff you thought no one noticed, she noticed. And she is so proud of who you've become on the other side of what nearly broke you. So as you walk toward this good, safe, warm thing that's waiting for you, walk, knowing that you are loved and watched and cheered on from both sides of the veil. You are not doing this alone. You never were. And the love that's coming is not a fluke or a stroke of luck, it's a homecoming that you earned and that heaven helped arrange. Go get it, sweet soul. It's yours. That's the reading, my loves. Warm and safe and watched over exactly the kind of love you always deserved and were starting to think didn't exist. If this touched something in you, if a face came up, if a loved one in heaven came to mind, if your eyes stung even a little, please give this video a like on your way out. It genuinely helps these readings reach the souls who need them, the ones who've been hurt and are scared to hope again. And subscribe to Elena Tarot if you haven't yet, because tender, healing, heaven-supported readings like this are close to my heart, and I've got so many more coming for you. Tell me in the comments which card moved you most. Was it the one you already knew? The loved one in heaven? The 10 of Cups waiting at the end? I read every single one, and what you choose tells me exactly where you are in your healing. And if both a romantic face and a heaven-side loved one came up for you tonight, drop 2 little stars. One for the love that's coming, and one for the angel making sure you get to it. Thank you for spending this time with me tonight. And thank you truly for surviving everything you survived to get here. You did the hard part. The warm part is just beginning. Take such good care of yourself. You're so loved. On both sides of the veil. I'll see you in the next one.